So guys, today I have a video here on Groot, easily my favorite tank in this game and one that's actually very fun to play if you play him correctly. So today I got a guide here basically going over all of his abilities, some information that we can learn about him via the Marvel Rivals official website, and a whole lot more. So let's just jump straight into it. First off with Groot's basic abilities. First up, for his normal attack, he has his Vine Strike, which will launch Vine attacks at enemies. This is kind of a medium range, almost melee style of attack. So it can be very good for just dealing overall damage. He throws out these like long ranged melee attacks, which can be very good if you land them. For his first major ability, he has Thorn Lash Wall, where he can target a location and grow a Thorn Lash Wall, and when it gets awakened, it will strike nearby enemies attacked by Groot and his allies. We'll get into more of that in a bit. Following up there, we have his Ironwood Wall, where he can target a location to grow an Ironwood Wall, and when awakened, damage dealt by Groot and nearby allies will grant Groot bonus health. Moving on, he has a melee combo ability here called Furious Flora, where his basic melee has a combo with his arms, and the third strike will slightly launch enemies into the air, which can be quite useful there. His next major ability is called Spore Bomb, where he throws an explosive spore bomb that splits into multiple smaller explosive spores. Very good for dealing with characters at range, and is very good for also just finishing targets off and dealing with enemies who are grouped up. Then for his passive, he has Flora Colossus, where wooden walls near Groot will awaken and activating an extra effect. You can press RT while building a wall to continuously build additional walls. And then for his team-up ability, he has Friendly Shoulder, where Jeff the Landshark and Rocket Raccoon can ride Groot's shoulders, receiving damage reduction. Now, one thing to note, whilst you are on Groot's shoulders, you are able to use all of your abilities like normal, although if you use any of your movement abilities like Jeff's Dive or Rocket's Jetpack, I believe you'll immediately just jump off of Groot's back, so that's one thing to pay attention to, but you'll be able to use all of your other abilities no problem, and are going to be very easily able to keep Groot alive. For Groot's ultimate, it's called Strangling Prison, where he fires a massive vine cluster that pulls enemies nearby into the center and imprisons them. This is a very strong ultimate overall, good for grouping up enemies so that then your teammates can use their ultimates to finish them off, be it an Iron Man or a Scarlet Witch. Those are just some really good ults there as an example. But yeah, overall, very good ultimate. Now with his basic kit out of the way, let's take a look over on the Marvel Rivals official website here to see if there's any other information we can learn about his overall kit. So here on the Marvel Rivals website, which I will have linked in the description, we have a Flora Colossus passive, which gives us a little bit more detail on how this actually works. So it's a cylindrical spell field around Groot with a 20-meter radius and a height of 40 meters. And when any of your walls are in this field, you will be able to unlock their awakened state whenever you or your allies deal any kind of normal attacks. So for the Thorn Lash Wall, this wall actually just deals damage to any enemies that are near it. You also have 2 charges of this ability, and they recharge every 6 seconds. And the 4 Lash Walls deal 60 damage every 0.5 seconds, and the overall health of these shields is around 250. And it can have a maximum distance of 15 meters. I believe that's the casting distance of the wall itself. So it's in a 15-meter radius. You can just put these anywhere. It's very good. For the Ironwood Wall, this is a much chunkier wall with a maximum spell distance cast range of, I believe, 10 meters. I think that's what that's trying to say. Its maximum health is 700, so it's a much chunkier wall. But because of that, it has a longer cooldown there, but it only being 8 seconds, so not entirely long, but still longer compared to the Thorn Lash Wall. And then for the special effect here, the Ironwood Wall will grant 40 bonus health per second, up to a maximum of 250 bonus health, which can be very good if you get all the way up to that 250 and then are able to start encounters with that boost of health, but can also be good if you're midway going into a fight and are just able to constantly keep granting yourself that amount of bonus health, which can be activated by either you or your allies using their normal attacks within the range of these chunkier walls. Now in the gameplay here that you're going to be seeing, I mainly put the Ironwood Wall in the back for some reason. I mainly just did this to keep it up so that I would be able to always constantly be receiving the bonus health, whereas I would put the Thorn Lash Walls, the ones that are dealing damage to the enemies, up in the front, just so that they're easily more able to actually deal damage. Now, one thing that you're probably noticing on this payload map is that these walls do get very easily destroyed by the payload itself. Once the payload hits any of those walls, they're gone, they're destroyed. So that's one annoying thing to note about Groot himself, is that on any and all payload maps, whether you're on defense or offense, the payload doesn't care. Your walls are going to be getting destroyed, And also your teammates can also destroy the walls, which is also a very annoying thing. So for your Thornlash walls, if you're putting those up where the enemies are, expect those to also get hit by your allies' attacks as well. Moving away from the walls though, let's talk Spore Bomb, because this is a very good ability, but it says here that the projectile itself actually deals no damage. So I'm guessing it's not kind of like an impact grenade, or just the projectile doesn't deal damage on impact, but the spore itself does deal 55 damage, and then the mini spores deal around 10 damage. That's one important thing to note, is that if you're throwing this into a group of enemies, the projectile won't do damage, but the overall effect of the ability is where the main source of damage goes. A very interesting note there. The spore also explodes into 6 explosive spores as well, so it's got a wide radius there to be dealing with any enemies that are either weak or grouped up. Overall, very, very good ability to be used here on Groot. And then to end off the video, let's go over to his proficiency tab to show you those exclusive rewards. So just like every other character, he of course has all the proficiency challenges, which I will be making a video on next week to guide you through how proficiency stuff works. But for his rewards here, at the Knight rank, you do get an exclusive spray there for Groot. And then for the KO prompts, he has his basic one at the Agent rank. But then once you get to Captain, you get a greenish-yellow kind of one there. And then for getting to the Centurion rank, you get a green one with a little roots running through it, which looks kind of cool. And then for the Avatar here, you have the default. And then at the Lord rank, you get a different one there, which actually looks really, really good. So if you're a fan of these, just play Groot and you'll be getting your ranks going up to get any of those rewards that you are after. And whilst we're here, let's also go and just take a quick look here at his cosmetics. Firstly, here's his default, which to me is honestly my favourite look for Groot in this game. I feel like they really did a good job here with Groot. But if you want to go for one of his skins, he of course has the Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 skin, which looks really, really cool if you remember him from the very end of that movie, where he's all juiced up and really, really big. Looks really good, so if you're interested in that, you can buy that. Then he also has a recolor here of his default, giving me a more blue color scheme there. So if you're interested in that, you can also grab that one. And then for MVP screens, this is the default that he has. Let's actually just equip the default skin so you can see what it's going to be looking like. Pretty basic looking MVP screen there, but if you want to go for the Guardians of the Galaxy one with the Volume 3 skin, he of course has the ending scene of the movie where he is really, really big and wakes up. You also have Rocket there as well in the screen, which looks really, really cool, and there's a nice little touch there. For emotes, nothing really special. It has a little dance, which is probably from one of the films, where his Baby Groot and dances. Pretty cool emote, and his default scratches his head, looking all confused like. And yeah, that's basically it for cosmetics. Nothing else really in the sprays. You got the one here for his proficiency rank, and then there's just the rest of the sprays that you have unlocked generally. And that's basically it for Groot and this overall guide. He's a very, very good tank. Also very strong if the enemy team doesn't deal with any of your walls. If you're able to just freely place those all over the map and surround the enemy team within them, very, very potent and very, very strong. One fun thing to do is to place them behind a retreating enemy team so they can't really escape, to kind of just trap them within your walls. Very, very fun kit overall, and just having to be trying them out if you want to have a very fun tank to play. He's a very defensive focused tank though, compared to some of the other tanks in this game. I feel like some of them are very offensive focused. Groot doesn't really have that much offense ability. He's very defense focused, and is overall very, very fun time, and a character you should definitely be checking out. And yeah, that's it for my Groot guide. Hopefully you guys found it helpful. If you did, be sure to leave a like and subscribe to the channel. And that's all I got for you guys today. So hopefully you guys enjoyed, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.